Well, I know you have some high expectation about this debate. So do I. Um, this is like seeing a realized process. We are going to somehow wrap up all our theories and knowledge and concepts about all our career. And it's very an essential topic. I mean, we have to apply theories and concepts to our own learning process. And that depends that our students also learn. So this is our, you can you see my screen? No. Let me let me
No, teacher.
try to share.
No, not yet.
Better, better. At your left side, I have something that intend to work as an agenda for this session. Uh, an ice-breaking activity, which consists of your self-introduction. Each one of you is going to have uh, a minute long time, so you can introduce yourself. Then we are going to make individually a summary of the video, learning a language before you study, right? Learning a language before you study. Then we are going to move to item 3, the format and guidance about this debate. I'm going to explain you how this debate is going to be like. I'm going to show you also some score criteria and assessment. Then we are going to move to the debate, where by that time we already have conformed 2 teams. And 6 and 7 is intended for you to live by with your a core idea for this meeting. So I have over here, let me, okay, I tried to let you introduce in the order that appear here. Patricia is the first.
Okay.
Uh,
Yes.
yes, go ahead, Patricia.
Okay. Hi, everybody. My name is Patricia Ararat. I am from Cúcuta, Norte de Santander. I am 38 years old. I work as a teacher at the university. Um, I am in the last semester of, of this career, of this degree. And I don't know how can I say that right now. I'm excited. I am. I try to expect everything today. Um, I'm married. I have a son, and that's it.
Good, Patricia. Thank you very much.
You're
Let's
welcome.
give the opportunity now to Tito. Go ahead, Tito. You're okay. Much better.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
Don't worry. Go
Eh,
ahead.
hello, teacher Carlos and partners, Patricia, Karen, Dayana, Catherine. Uh, it's so glad to share this space with you. I am Tito Julio Gonzalez. I live in Bogota. I have 54 years old. I have two children. I study at the university. I study in the eighth semester. But it is a good space to share ideas with you. Good luck for all people.
Thanks. Now it's the turn for Karen Diana.
Hello, glad to meet you here. My name is Karen. I live in Italy. This is a country close to Bogota. I am 20 years old. I live with my family. And in this moment, I feel really nervous about this debate. And I don't know. In this moment, I just study. I used to work in an English institute, but in this moment, I am not working due to pandemic times. So I had to stay in home and I don't have more to say. Thank you so much.
Oh, uh, Karen, wait a second. I would like to know from where are you connected? I
Tell
mean,
me, excuse me.
from where are you connected?
I am in the shop of my mother because in my house I have some problems. I had some problems with the internet, so I have to run from my house until here. But I arrive on time.
Don't
Yes,
worry.
so this you can see a lot of books and blogs, many
Yeah,
papers behind me.
yeah. Let's see who's coming. Now is Angela Caterine Vaquero.
Um, Hello, teacher. Hello, partners. Now, my name is Angela Caterine Barquero. I am 20 years old. I am from Bogota. I also live in Bogota. I have lived with my husband for 9 years. Currently, I work as a service advisor in a company called it Teleperformance for the San Ignacio Hospital. I I don't know. I haven't been working there for 2 years. Currently, I am in eighth semester. Um, and no more, teacher.
Good, Catherine. Thank you. Let's see now Evelyn Alejandra. Uh, Karen, you're perfect.
Hello everyone. My name is Karen Costiva.
Wait a second, Karen. Your sound is low. Try to turn up your volume.
Okay. Hello, my name is Karen Costiva. I am 21 years old. I'm from Bogota. I live with my parents and my younger brother. I am logistic management technologist. And I am bachelor's degree student in English as a foreign language. I like to spend time with my family. One of my favorite hobbies is watching movies on Netflix. And sorry, I'm going on my bicycle with my father and my brother. I like to play with my brother and our pets. We have a cat and a dog, and they are both white. One of my goals is to speak and master English language as a native. Thank you.
Thanks back to you, Karen. That was a very clear explanation of who and who you are. Um, who's who's left? Uh, there one. There is somebody left to present, to introduce? No? I have registered over here this lady. I don't know if she's in the team, Evelyn Alejandra. You don't know her? Because when I tried to add her to the, I don't know, appeared too many Evelyn Alejandra. So I didn't know who she was. So I tried to, I mean, you can see over here that yeah,
Maybe she's watching the game.
yeah, I think so. He preferred to stay watching the TV game. By the way, Colombia is winning, as far as I know. But then
Yes.
Chile uh, balanced the score 1-1. I don't know,
No, 1-0.
1-0. Yeah, it's still 1-0. I heard something like one goal for Chile.
No, no,
Are
no,
you
no.
sure?
One. Just one.
All right. We need now. We have to play with VAR. VAR is correcting mistake from the uh, arbitro. Many mistakes. Well, I want to show now. Let's move to item 2, summary of the video. It's like a review. Learning a language before you study it. So let's start with Karen. Karen, we want to hear your voice. Please share with us your
Excuse
comments
me,
and your
teacher.
impressions. Go ahead.
In this call, we have two Karens, me, Dayana,
Okay,
and the other.
Karen Kutiva.
Oh,
And then,
Excuse me, teacher.
yeah, I was um, demanding of you to share your words about the video, learning a language before you study it from Steve Kaufman. And please give us your impression about what you
Okay,
understand from the video.
okay, teacher. In the video, he explains key points where they show it with clear examples the importance of knowing something, in this case, language, um, before getting deeply into the subject, because if we have a simple knowledge or familiarization with the language, then it can allow us in an easier and more completely way to understand and develop what to comes next, phonetics, phonology, grammar, and the other important aspect that can lead us to an assertive and effective study. Uh, so the key is to learn, um, to know what I'm going to study, to show that I have sufficient knowledge that will help me relate what I have learned with what I have studied and done in the same way. Um, I can generate interest and willingness to continue learning a new language, as mentioned by Mr. Steve. Language learning is a matter of flexibility of the brain. The more reference and sounds, um, the easier it is. And in this way, confidence and motivation in learning the language are generated.
Good, good. That was a very extended uh, wrap up. Let's move now to Angela.
Um, okay. In the video, the boy describes some reasons, sorry, an example of why learning should come first and studying on practice it. The practice of a language is so difficult if we don't know its basis, or if we have we haven't not have a natural learning. The boy tells that he bought a CD with some sums of Korean words. After that, he remembered that, but he didn't know how to use them, since he didn't know what to mean, or how to apply them. Um, he also specifically that knowing two or three aspects of language is not enough for that person can speak or function with the language. It is also firm that is not possible to practice spontaneously. It is a cognitive, like a cognitive process, um, where you acquire knowledge, transform it, adopt it, and then pour it into a practice.
Thanks, Catherine. You opened the door for a debate very early, very very interesting words, because we are soon going to that debate. Let's hear now Karen Diana.
Yes. So,
Uh, it's time for us to hear your voice. Share your impression about the video, learning a language before study it.
okay, did you hear me? Do you hear me?
Perfect. Your sound is good.
Okay, thank you. So, in the video, the Mr. Steve talk about the importance of have a context when you're learning something, because if you don't have like that perception of this, you won't understand what is going on with the words that you are studying. For example, in the he gave some examples like when he was hearing or listening songs in Korea, didn't understand. He didn't understand what the use of that and what is the importance of that sounds. So I think that we need to learn something before to study. An example of this is the university. I think that all of the students already know a base of English, and after we improve our level and we are keeping in that, continue with our development of the different skills. And it's very important to have a context and to I don't know, to face situations when you have to solve real problems. And I don't know, sometimes we don't know what is the culture, so we can achieve a high level if we don't are involved in that culture, and if we don't have contact with other persons of that country, for example of England or maybe Canada. Yes, because all that is different. And if we were learning other language, we would also have to learn something about the new culture. For example, English speakers are different to Italian speakers, because Italian could be more um, lovely or friendly than English speakers. And yes, I think that we need to study before to Oh, sorry. We need to learn something before to study. I confuse the words.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
I hearing you, I see that this conversation is like warming up. You are, I mean, each intervention spice this debate. So I can't wait. I'm willing to hear your voice in a debate. Let's hear now Tito. I know Tito some words to say about learning a language before study it because somehow it, I mean, learning and acquisition, it all have to do with us. We are learners, we are students, we are in the process, we are adults, right? And learning and debating, it involves all your body, all your mind, all your culture, as Diana just said. So that's why I was saying that you spice this conversation. But let's now hear Tito.
Okay, Steve Coleman talk about the learn based on reading and listening. But he talks about, I understand he talks a lot of languages, Japanese, Korean, Russian, Portuguese, Spanish, French, German. Um, he he has a lot of experience acquiring this language because he explained with examples their own experience with some problems. Japanese in any case show program. Listen program radio and doesn't understand the situation. On the other hand, talk about the Korean because it is difficult to understand, or Russian because I think kids enjoy learning Russian, but he explained problems with learn grammar because grammar is difficult to learn when an individual learn language, but rollers, genitives, nominatives, plural, singular, other problems in the for the learner. Um, he talked about acquiring language. It is most important to learn language because in this case, I think Stephen Coleman talk about Steve Krashen hypothesis, but input or or the other hand, the natural approach, other methods or hypotheses to learn in this case. Um, uh, Focus on the learner enjoy with language because they're important to communicate with other people. This is the summary this video.
Yeah, I remember to, I remarked that he said that he don't want to sound like a native speaker. He just want to communicate, right?
Okay.
I mean, sounding like a native speaker is not in his main goals, but to communicate. So that phrase, I mean, we as learners identify with that phrase because we hear a lot of YouTube videos and hear a lot of difficult dialects. I mean, from Australia, for Canada, I mean, many accents, right? But
Yes.
I mean, we 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 are just happy trying understanding these people, right? That's for us as learners, what matters is to understand. But that is passive because we need to produce, becomes productive in language. Of course, we all want to hear the Patricia's voice. Patricia, you have the word, please. Go ahead.
Hi, do you hear me?
Perfect. Your sound is good.
Okay. Okay, guys. So, well, you have been talking a lot and all the topics that we watching in the video, but I have several things to say. First of all, the minister was talking something about to be focused on to get familiarity with the language. Maybe we used to learn grammar and vocabulary, but we don't know if we are enough to explode in the language. Maybe we know the grammar, but when we are trying to make this practice, making in a conversation, maybe we don't know how to use it. Another thing that he was saying something about the accent reduction, trying to adopt the new speech accent. So as you say, Carlos, about the quote of I don't want to imitate the native speaker, but I want to imitate the native speaker, but no pretend to be one of them. And that is a huge problem for us, like an Hispano speaker or a Spanish speaker,
Yeah.
because we have a strong accent, and it's really difficult when we speak English. Even if we are in America or we are in Australia, is we have a detector with our sounds, or even with our intonation. So sometimes when we are learning English, everybody is saying, "No, your sound is not good. It doesn't sound like an American speaker or like an Irish, England, whatever." So, and I say, well, I don't try to be like that one. Even I don't know if you know, who's the girl, Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
If you know her, she speak English, but
Our family.
yes, and she speak English, but her sound, he still sound in like a Latina girl. So it's really hard for her. And in one interview, she was talking that I don't care if I don't sound like a native speaker. I just need that you can understand whatever I say. So that is the main goal that on the video was talking the guy that he say, enjoy the language, enjoy enjoy yourself learning in the same process. Also try to communicate. That is the main goal for that. So in conclusion, I can say that learning before you start to study, really before of that, you start to make sense in everything, in grammar, in vocabulary. With all the time passed, you say, I already understand what happened with that. So that is the thing.
Well, that was a very complete uh, overview. And as I tell you, and Diana also said that culture plays a key role here. We are immersed in culture, and most of us, um, I have to say that, fail to acquire a second language because we are short term about culture. We see just what we have in front of our eyes. We don't see the entire landscape, and that's so true. We can also notice that when people try to guess the meaning of a word in a paragraph. I
Mhm.
mean, they don't see the context, the word in a context, just the word in isolated. So that's why we see a student that fail in their learning. And sadly, most of our friends, because you all have friends studying a second language, but they fail. They feel frustrated because they haven't achieved what they want. They are almost finishing their career, but they don't get the level they need, right? But
Yes.
it's a process. I mean, it's a sum of events that take them to that place. So if you do your task, you try to guess the word in the context, you are going to succeed. And if you can notice the meaning of a word in a text, in a writing text, writing language, you can do the same in the spoken language, right? That's it's like that. It happened. So that's why I success and others success, because they can see the entire landscape. And culture determines the meaning of words. It's a way of thinking. We are immersed in that way of thinking. So we should not try to understand isolated words, but the way the culture understand and create meanings. Remember, that's essential. And that's the theory we learn when we study this career. But we need to be able to apply all that knowledge to our own learning process. I think we are done with this part of the overview of the video. Let's see what's the agenda have for us. Format and guidelines. Okay, guys, I'm going to give you an explanation of how this debate is going to take place. As you can see, we are odd number. There should be 6 members, right? 6 participants, but there is just 5. 4 ladies and a gentleman. So in this case, we are going to make 2 teams, but one of the teams is going to be just 2 members. So in one side is going to be Tito and Diana, okay? Diana, you are Tito are going to be the first team. On the other team is going to be Angela, Karen, and Patricia, right?
Okay.
Team 1, the leader voice is going to be Diana, okay?
Okay, teacher.
Diana, you are going to be the spokesperson. And the spokesperson too in the other team is going to be Patricia.
Okay.
So, coming now, I'm going to share with you how this is going to work. So, in this case, this is Diana, right? Can you see my screen?
Yes, teacher.
Okay. Diana is going to rescue the voice of her team, right? And Patricia is going to
Yes.
rescue the voice of her team.
Okay, but I'm sorry, but I can see your screen. I mean, I see it, but it's in pause away, or it's just me?
Uh, what about you? Can you see my screen?
Yes, teacher.
Oh, I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Yes.
It should be your
My
connection.
connection. Okay.
Yeah. Well, so one side is against learning language before study it. That team is going to be Tito. Tito and Tito and Karen. You are going to be against, okay? Against learning a language before study it. And in favor of learning a language before study is going to be the Patricia's team. So
Okay.
in In a real scenario, we will have an audience, a crowd audience over here, but this is a virtual environment. We lack that audience. That. So as we develop this debate, each member needs to respond a question by the other team, and at the same time is going to have the opportunity to ask a question to the other team. Right? The person in charge to recover the voice of the whole team is going to be the spokesperson. In this case, the two persons I mentioned you. So do we have clear the format and the guidance? Patricia, is it clear to you?
Well, yes. Yes, I
Well,
guess.
I also want you to know that you must silence all your mobile phones, and it's not allowed to leave your answers. I mean, you can avoid answer a question or reject giving an argument, right? This is a debate, and you should respect your counterpart. Then comes how are you going to be scored and assessed. The quality of your arguments determine at 50% of your score. The content, concepts, and ideas, right? 20%. If you refute or reject the other person's reasons, that has 20%. Working as a team, 20%. And writing your own style, 10%. Right? Each person embodies its own style, so I'm going to respect that. You know, every person is unique, and that gives you just 10%. So, number 5, hands-on debate. Let's debate. Patricia left the meeting.
No, I am here.
All
It's
right.
because I am trying to figure out. Well, we are talking. We are going to talk with my team. We are going to prepare something, or we just throw it to the
Yeah.
game.
I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes so you can discuss. I'm going to I'm going to, I don't know, one team, maybe it could be Tito and Karen Diana. I don't know if you leave the room for a while and discuss, right?
Yes, teacher. In what time we have to
Uh,
come back?
Cancel the phone call, and then after, let's say, 5 minutes, you connect again. Can you do that, Tito? You need to establish connection out of this room to build up your strategy, right? Your arguments. After 5 minutes that you have discussed, you can join this conversation one more time and start the debate, right?
Okay, teacher.
So I'm going to leave this room for a while. So in this call is going to be only the thing of Patricia talking along, right? Or I just going
Okay.
to I'm going to my kitchen for a while, 5 minutes. So bye, 5 minutes. 5 minutes.
Okay. So my team is Angela, Karen. Okay.
Yes,
Hi, girls. How are you?
leave the network.
Well, To me, it's awful because I didn't like this topic. To me, it's not really interesting to talk. And right now, I don't know what can I say. So if we have three parts to talk, first of all, I think that I have to make maybe an introduction about the topic, about the video. I don't know, and then start the other team against of us, and then who will be next? Karen or Angela?
Me can be.
Okay, so you are going to explain maybe a reason that about what is the best thing to learning before to start the study.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yes, so maybe you and Catherine and Karen try to decide what topic are you going to talk about, and maybe don't repeat the topic. What do you think?
¿Cómo la cuento? Acá.
What do you think? Hello?
I think we can, I don't know, introduce a little examples about the importance for the topic and make a question for the other team. I don't know.
But
Yeah, with
in the
example.
second part, because well, the thing is that because I would like to talk about that. Well, maybe learning before you start to study, it will be useful for you. No, I'm freaking out. Um, because maybe the things start to be really natural and start to seem a little bit natural. I was trying to figure out with the last one. Well, I'm going to talk about the focus on the thing that
Aló, hola.
Mr. Things was saying. Yes.
Oye, ven, ¿cómo plantea él que hagamos, que lo hagamos unos a favor y en contra?
Yes, you are going to against to our team.
Ah, en contra.
Yep.
Bueno, no importa, ¿no? Nos vamos a inventar una estrategia. Vamos a decir que no siempre que,
But the thing is that your
podemos
team
meter, es que tengo aquí
is
el ruido del
Diana.
otro grupo. Podemos decirle ok, sí, ya.
Well, I'm going to. The main idea of the thing that I would like to say is to talk about the focus of learning English before you start to study, and what is the benefit of that, and then you will choose the topics with some examples, and then you can ask, because in the introduction is very rare if I start to ask about something if we don't have already know the topic. Well, we know that, but okay. So then first will be me, then maybe the other guy, then will be Catherine, and the last one is Karen. So Karen will close the with the conclusion. So definitely according to the Catherine she say, and with another idea that you have.
Okay.
So we are Colombia, and the other guy are Chile. I'm freaked out. So why not think about some questions? Why don't make some question to them? For example, um, hmm, no, what? No, things are not wrong.
The topic is a little difficult.
How can we ask something to them against to the thing of the thing that we are talking about? God. Um, for example,
Um, uh, I don't know. Why did you think it is not necessary to learn first than to study?
yes. I believe that's sounding like a native synonymous with a noun in the language. Mm, maybe we can share the questions. We can create maybe 3 questions or 2 questions that we can use. We should use maybe. No, it looks stranger. Mm,
The other question maybe what what other method do you consider to make studying more effective than learning?
it's a little hard. Study. So they start to say maybe they will start to work with it's better study than learning because that is the fact of the against.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know if I sound crazy, but they are going to be the opposite of that. So we are trying to defend that the learning is better than study.
Okay. Sorry.
No. Maybe you are right and I'm wrong. I am trying to figure out what kind. We have to prepare something from there.
Huh?
What is going on? Oh no, that is awful.
Oh.
I was trying
But
to do this one. Do you think that sounding like a native speaker is synonymous of that you don't know the language? No. Wait. That you don't know the language? It's been like if you sound something with the sound. I'm gonna make out that question. God.
partners, what do you think about this question? Do you consider that practicing before learning provides benefits? I don't know.
Yes. That was great.
Okay.
Practices before learning.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
you think practice is? Oh, that was a good one.
Looks like time is over. And the ladies, on their face, I can see that they are ready. Tito and Diana, I know it's quite difficult, but this is about that. Uh, Believe me, this is going left your fears behind, your concerns behind. This is going to help you get confidence, good communication, communicative skills. So enjoy this. Doesn't matter if good or wrong, that doesn't matter. What matters is your learning process, and here, your partners. This is a learning community. So I know it's hard to defend what um, it's difficult to defend, but language is about that. It helps you to open doors. So if you can do this, imagine what else can you get. So be positive, and I don't know, Patricia, make an overview.
Goal, goal!
Gol, caramba. This time it's another goal, Patricia. Stay focused. Another goal. Stay focused.
It's hard. I would like to confess that it's really hard because the topic is not enough maybe to express all the things that we really want to share. Because I have been listening to all you guys, and I know that you have a good fluency to speak English, and it's really nice to hear that. But the topic is really tough. It's really hard to work with the fact learning before you start studying. Oh my God,
And at the same time,
it's
it's
so
shocking.
plain.
It's very shocking also because, I mean, all your partners is facing this difficulty at learning a language, at learning a second language. So it's a very a high challenge for us to overcome this situation, but because uh, the learning process of many students is over all shoulders. So this is the first step on achieving a higher task. That's why we need to do our best. So go ahead, and you have in front of you a very strong person, Tito and Diana. So Patricia, Diana has a very solid career learning a second language. You see, she's confident. Tito is also a monster of learning a second language. He's a veteran. All of you are winners. So have a good debate. Go ahead, please. Patricia, you have the word.
Okay. Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and we are going to talk about learning before you start to study. And the main goal of that is, or the particular thing is that you have to enjoy the language, enjoy the process of learning, trying to communicate with all the things that you really want to express. Enjoy yourself. So that is the main goal that you have to take in mind when you are learning. And doesn't matter if you're just learning English, maybe Japanese, maybe Mandarin, maybe whatever language. Try to focus on that. You can get familiar with some expressions that you can learn, and also try to practice your accent reduction. It doesn't mean that you have to imitate the native speaker. Is try to, no, excuse me, is not to pretend to be a native speaker, is try to imitate them. Maybe in that way, you can learn expressions. You can you can learn all the sentence, and then you can practice on that, and that make you feel confidence using that. But you have to practice and keep that in your mind. Okay, that is.
Well, I think Steve Goodman talks about their own experience, but that is not true. All he says because all people have different styles to learn. Because there are some methods and strategies to develop in research to explain people have other ways to learn and don't don't interesting enjoy learning because it is more important learn grammar uh, and speaking very well. Uh, but a learner have to opportunity to learn and put effort in learning.
I have a question to you. Can I say something? Why do you think that is not interesting to learn English maybe with motivate? Because if you know when you are learning in this kind of process, you have to be motivated, and with that, you are going to improve your English. Maybe you are going to improve your methods. So if you are saying that it's not interesting, maybe that is not a good result, or maybe you are not going to be success with the main goal to understand or to learn English.
Okay, can I answer that question? Okay, I think that yes. Tito talks about a social interest because, of course, we have a motivation, but it is not the same in different contexts. For example, our motivation is to be a good teacher, to teach very good grammar, very good skills. But if we see the case of other persons, like the Steve from the video, he said that he wants to communicate. He is not talking about teaching, he is not talking about business or translating. Yes, so I think we have different approach, and according to that approach we are learning in as a hobby, or this is our career and we have to improve this because this is our work tool. Yes, if we don't know English, we
But
want.
you say that you can learn as a hobby. And when you are saying something as a hobby, is something that you really like, that you are really motivated to learn English.
Yes, of course,
Okay?
it's motivation. A motivation different is it could be job, it could be for fun, it could be I don't know, for love. Maybe you met someone that talk in English and you want to flirt with him. And yes, we have a lot of motivations.
You are you are one of the member of my team.
Yes.
Okay,
I,
that's
I,
it.
Patricia, there
Yes.
are there are there are different ways to learn, because we learn general English, but other people have to learn a specific English, but according their needs. It is different because they improve their skills quickly, but we have problems with general English, and we have affect our motivation because I think I don't learn English, but what happened with me?
Um, yes, it's really, but I think when learning a language allows you to know important aspects such as pronunciation. It happened to me in this the school that only had a guide and translate it, but in the end I didn't know how to pronounce, or when I listened to the audio, it was impossible for me associate words. And I think it's so important learn first for practice the listening. Is really that there are many ways for learn some language, but I think it's so important first uh, learn some things, that the grammar, the verbs, vocabulary, and other things.
Yes,
But Catherine, there are some something interesting. Steve Goodman talk about the learn based on reading and listening. He don't explain all skills. He don't take in mind writing and, um, and speaking. He focused on reading and listening because he don't use the language as a academic purpose or as a teaching purpose. He enjoy learning language because he learn Russian, Japanese, Korean, English, Spanish, there are a lot of language.
yes, and I think that, in my opinion, Catherine is correct, but in this part, she is talking about study, yes, because according to the video, learn is something when you associate something, but when you talk about grammar, maybe reading, the structure of different things, in this time you're studying vocabulary, you're studying some orthographic rules, like we do in Spanish. When we are kids, we start to talking, yes, our mom say, this is a notebook, this is a pen, this is a dog, but after we go to school to improve that skills, and we study the structure of Spanish, what is the subject, what is the verbs, irregular verbs, yes. So I think it's important study, and according to your approach and how you will use the language, because as I told you before, you can study to perfect your English to achieve a high level, to be I don't know, professional in English. And also you can be just a speaker who wants to know different cultures and different things, so you don't study a lot the structure of this English like we do.
Yes, but if we learn something first, that gives more confidence when practicing it, because we will be certain of who it works, or how to apply it, or how to use it, and it will be easier to develop the practice by to knowing clearly what we are facing, our and what we are doing, and that confidence motivates us to continue it with the practice.
Well, okay, first, very good that you mentioned Karen, but in my opinion, I can generate an example. I haven't experienced with a language or insufficient experience. Yeah, um, all the grammatical explication that at some point and I will be think uh, don't make sense because I will don't be able to apply them. Um, I believe that you have to start learning a language compared to listen and reading methods. Yeah, In this way, learning a language involves accustoming to 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 hear to different sounds. What Steve speaks in his video, each language has different sounds, but if I try and adapt my hearing, I will become familiar with the language in a simple and clearly motivating way. I have a question. What other method do you consider to make a study more effective than learning?
Oh, very good question. But you have take in mind because there are a lot of teachers, there are a lot of methods to teach, and there are a lot of uh, learning strategies, and there are a lot of research and a lot of results. But uh, we we are rabbits in laboratory, in English laboratory, but there are teachers put in practice their strategy and their method, but there are no problem if their method not don't working. But working in all people and not all people. No, one student don't agree with the method, it is fired. And uh, ex uh, what do you say? Obliga, exige. The teacher develop some strategies. Teacher have to work as research. It is important statistics and mm, uh, notes of um, students develop language skills because teachers have the opportunity to prove their method. But it is important because teacher have questions as how learn their students, or because this student don't learn in front other classroom. There are a lot of questions about the learn language.
Good, good. Okay.
That Tito said, also, I, I, I'm talking. Do you hear me
It's lovely.
now? Now, better?
Yes, 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 yes,
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Better.
yes, Diana.
Okay, complementing that, Tito said, as you know, now we count with a lot of tools. As if you remember the history of teaching English, we come with a lot of tools, and now we have videos, we have songs, we have tapes, we come with many platforms that can give you a real context to improve your English. And we come with groups of students. So study English, yes, is possible. I can supply the need to interact with other people like we are doing right now. We are studying, but at the same time, we're developing speaking and listening skills and talking with other people.
Some question, last intervention is the motivation. One motivation for people today is the globalization and exchange other people, other cultures. People have the idea to travel around the world, but other times it is not possible because people have beliefs or they think it is not possible to travel around the world. Today is easier to move uh, this country, other country. It is important to speak other language. People have opportunity to share ideas with us in this forum, but other people develop debates around the world. It is important to speak other language.
Yes, I have a question for you, Team Affirmative. Why learn it that way if we, as students, come with a lot of strategies, methods, we have learning styles? Why learn for fun? What is the objective of that? Uh, I think it's better study before to learn.
I can answer that questions. For example, you are learning not for your maybe for your degree. Well, I know that it's for your degree. Maybe it's a requisite, but you're learning also for have fun, because with that you maybe you have the opportunity to go to United States or maybe to Disneyland and to take your family over there, and you're the only guy who really speak English, and you are going to improve your English in that, and you are going to develop your English and all your knowledge to make a little conversation and maybe solve the thing. Maybe your family don't speak English, but you are the person who can do it and make this kind of connection and make, maybe you don't have the enough money to do that, but you are the guy who will speak. So we are going to have fun. Well, you are going to take them for that. Another thing is that maybe if you are a single guy, you can meet someone. You can meet or hang out with somebody. Doesn't matter if you have to go to United States. Doesn't matter. You can learn even chatting with something. Make a in Facebook or Twitter or whatever. You can find someone who really speak English and you want to know him or to meet him, in this case for the ladies. And so you use your knowledge and use the learning that you already have to meet someone and to have fun and you enjoy the language. So it's many reasons. Even if I don't know, all you guys, you want to be a teacher, but you have to create some games with the English. So that is one of the things that is motivate that you have to convince the people who can really learn English. What? With games. So that is one of the reasons that you can have fun.
Yes, excuse me, but I think games is also a didactic strategy of study English. So I don't know. Yes, I think this is a strategy of study English, so you're not learning, you're studying English using a game. What do you think about?
Could you please repeat that question?
Yes, of course. So as I was telling you, study games is a strategy of didactics of English to motivate the students to study English. So if you talk about fun, yes, study English, you also have fun, but you can achieve a high levels improving your English. Yes, because you had the guide, the teacher of maybe other person who is expert in that topic and can help you to improve. And of course, yes, you with friends can learn a lot, but I think it's better to study uh, before learning.
But if you know study, even study and make fun, it's equal to motivate to do something. It's studied the same way to in the make the main goal. So in this time, I don't know what is the deal.
So I want to complement.
We both teams are walking in the same I don't know the same way.
Yes, it could be. We are approaching in an academic view, and you are approaching that in a maybe social um, view. Yeah. So you see.
But I don't know. I have I don't have a question, but I would like to say something. In the degree, we have some groups like these ones that, of course, that it's an academic topics that we have to work on, but we also learning with the social. I don't remember the word. The social way. Why? Because if we meet with some all the guys we can learn from the others, so maybe I am interested to know everything about Tito, how he learns, how he study English, how he works with that, and if he is motivating to start to learn English before learning English before to study.
Okay, there are a lot of motivation because it is different. This topic present some ways to develop. Um, uh, Talk about motivation, but your motivation is different other people. Or my motivation as a work, as a travel, as a business, as a study abroad. There are a lot of uh, a lot of situations of the motivation. Motivation is a word to engage the students. Uh, um, uh, but each people have their own motivation to learn. And my motivation can end today because it is a different place. The motivation is as a life, um, our life change all day, but I don't take in mind. Yes. So
It's a
motivation.
lie. It's a Your motivation is over today.
Yes, there are people travel around other country unknown and don't speak this language, and they work and live in these countries all all time, a lot of years, and they return our country and they don't learn the language. Ah, what what uh, what happened?
Okay, Tito, if, if I relate or learning before studying in a traditional classroom, yeah,
Yes.
I could consider that um, it would be good read and listen, right? But in a school, what the directors demand more than everything is the study of language, grammar. For example, in my case, when I was in school, my English teacher focused on explaining the grammar of the topics that we saw in which class. Analog somewhere easy they assimilate, others by the on the contrary, no? And even our teacher was the one who complete and develop the exercise. The WhatsApp, we as students weren't motivated to learn it because first they taught us to study the language, and second because we did not have the need to speak it because the simple made it complete with the academic curriculum. Um, so why do you think it's not necessary to learn first than to study? Personally, I consider that learning is based on an generalized idea of the topic, whereas if the is if we focus on the study, if the leads to an idea of in the depth research on the topic and it makes sense, right? Well, at the least for me, I consider that if we have heard about what we want to study at this moment, we can develop and way too quickly, but effective unless and relationship with the language to learn. Yeah. So why do you think it's not necessary to learn first than to study?
Um, Classroom have changed all time, uh, but teacher and students don't see the change. Uh, I think I remember when I studied as a child. I don't study with internet, computer, and I don't see the importance to learn other language because our country was closed to the world. When the world changed, with internet, open doors to the study and learn, because there are a lot of information around the world. People today has phone, computer, tablet. Children in the school allow their elements. Other times, teacher prohibía, don't allow,
Forbidden or no allowed.
don't allow these elements in class. It is a problem with the parents, all today. It is problem the child don't have these elements. Change the way to teach. Young people have other idea to learn, and in this process, teacher learning. But there are other needs in the people on other results. But today, people things finish to study at the university, for example. Well, last years, it is not necessary to study at the university. Our parents have a lot of things they are not studying. For example, classroom is have changed. Teachers have taken it is possible in front of change. Now there are quickly this change is evident.
I have a question, and I think that it will be the last one. Catherine, do you wanna have a question to our against team?
Yes.
Okay, and I would like to finish with the other question.
How do you consider that practicing before learning provides a benefit?
Oh, yes. Uh, it is possible some benefits because you have to introduce the knowledge in your brain. When your brain process this knowledge, you have results with your learning. This is the idea of Steve Goldman. And learn based on reading and listening. But their examples is um, uh, their example is listen the radio in Tokyo. Yes, I think this is the base of this learning.
Complemented the answer of Tito, yes, the practice is necessary. I try to do my best. I don't know what happened with that, but I'm trying to talk louder. And I think that yes, it's important to practice. The practice is like a column of our learning process, even if you're learning by yourself, associating things, assimilating things, or if you're learning in academic, with an academic approach, studying grammar, structures, what is the phonetics of English, and everything is very important to practice. And yes, a lot of studies and investigations said that this is the best way to really acquire an high level in English, even if you are alone in home, if you don't have someone who practice, you can practice by your own and using tools like Skype, Facebook, everything. You can find a lot of native speakers to improve your English. So I think that study and learning are brothers and have to go together to acquire very good English, depending your goals and the things that you want to achieve with your English and the use that you will give it in the future or in your present, having in mind the needs that you have in your life. And yes, it is that.
In conclusion, we enjoyed this conversation today. A lot of information. It is important because this space allows us share ideas and establish a dialogue with the topic of reference. But that is important for us talk about these topics. Uh, Thank you very much. All, all you.
Can you hear me?
I think that is enough.
Yeah.
We can keep talking. We are just confident with that topic.
Patricia, can you hear me?
I heard you sound very, very
Catherine,
low.
can you hear me?
Yes,
See? Yes, can you hear me?
yes.
Little. What about now? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Uh, you just arrived to the end of this debate. The last part is supposed, give me a second. The last part is supposed to give a conclusion. Okay, your core takeaway idea. So, just to finish, I want you to give a concluding word, your takeaway idea. So let's start with Patricia.
About all the stuff that we were talking?
Yeah, wrap up. Just a few
Okay.
words to conclude.
Well, we can have a conclusion that it's better to learn before you can start to study, because with that way you can be motivated to learn in your and to learn, first of all, learn, and then to recognize your process. And in that way, doesn't matter if that is with academic goals, or maybe just for have fun, or for make a communication for that. No, the main thing is that you can, I don't know, to express and try to communicate, and the other person can understand whatever you are saying. So that is, I think that that is the main goal.
Sure.
We have too many approach to really learn English or learn whatever language, but it's really important to make that as a motivation, kind of make goal to have a success.
That's good. Karen, Kutiva, please, your words.
O- Okay. Mm, okay. The learning is the learning is based on a general idea of the topic. Yeah. While the focus on the study is led to in the research idea on the subject, and it in a way um, that for me learning is it's important, because is they came to know they going to study to show that I have uh, sufficient knowledge, and that will help me relate I have learned with what I have studied, and that is same way I can generate interest and willingness to continue to learning a new language.
That's right, autonomy. Autonomy
Yeah.
makes everything. Now, Catherine has some words also to share. Please, Catherine.
Okay. I don't know. I think uh, from my point of view, it is so necessary to learn, to be able to practice. I emphasize that it is really important, because to learn a language before practicing it, I don't know, that guaranteed to give meaning to what we are doing, and encourage to continue of the process. Learning is the most important starting point, especially I don't know, speaking. Uh, um, I don't know, of the acquisition of the second language, because it gives us the information or about how is format, or I don't know, structured, or how to that language works, so that I don't know, so that later we can practice, or apply it, um, because in the other way is like, I don't know, if I were going to play a soccer game without knowing how to play, what the rulers are, those things. Um,
That's true. And
it,
you know, play a
exactly,
game, we really need to know the rules.
exactly. But just running behind the wall without knowing how everything works or why. Oh, I don't know.
That's
I think it's so important to learn first.
you give a point to your opponent because that phrase is really meaningful. To play a game, you really need to know the rules for that game. To play a game, you really need to know the rules. And that's what learning a language, study a language means for learners. I mean, you can learn empirically, but we need to study. Otherwise, you will commit mistakes and you don't even realize that you ever did a mistake. Tito, your words are louder than mine. Please go ahead. Your microphone is mute. Unmuted.
Uh, uh, I already discovered my conclusion because I think we enjoy this conversation as a debate where we talk about different opinions on study this problem, but um, how the student learn or what is the motivation to learn other language or what is the importance to expose to the language and I enjoy a lot of with you. Thank you very much for you.
Thanks back to you. Uh, Karen, Diana,
Yes.
you are a wise girl. You just during your speech, you mentioned very important things. I wrote about English for a specific purpose, and that I mean, this guy Steve Kaufman didn't mention anything about that. I mean, he just talked about his own learning process, and the issue is that most of learning fails. They are, I mean, truly failing their money, their time, and they are they are about to quit their language career.
Yes,
And
I mentioned that.
you
I
have
mentioned that.
example, dozen of example. Go ahead,
Yes,
Diana.
I mentioned that because I wanted to answer the question of Patricia. And yes, it is a very good perspective of what learning an language is, because yes, a lot of students fail. Maybe is the strategy that the teacher use, as Karen, my partner, mentioned. Yes, it's very important to um, I don't know, to guide the students according to their needs and see the faults that they have and try to overcome that situation and become that in a success for the students. Yes, I think each person has and know what is his own process, and I know that if I am not good in this, I have to work more in that, and yes, to overcome that situation. That not only depends of the teacher, of the tutor, also that depends of me and my motivation, as mentioned my classmate Patricia. Yes, it is important to have motivation, and as mentioned my classmate Catherine, also you have to know the rules, because sometimes you can look like a fool or have shame in some situations when you don't use the language in a right way. So I think that study and learn have to be
Learning.
together always.
Yeah. Well, we come to this part. I want to thank Patricia, Caterine, Diana, Tito, and Karen. I am very gratitude I feel a complete gratitude because you make part of this process. I mean, we learn together. I mean, we learn alone, but to validate that knowledge, we need intersubjectivity. And what does it mean? We need to learn in conjunction with others. That's so true. You learn about Vygotsky. He was the first one who spoke that truth, and it's a general truth. So thank you very much for assisting, for your presence, and until next opportunity. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
Thank you, teacher. Thank
Have
you,
a good night.
partners.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
teacher. Thank you,
Bye.
partners.
Thank
Bye.
you. Nice to meet you all, guys. Have a nice day.
I will,
Later.
A nice
excuse me,
night. Uh-huh.
excuse me. I will let you know your score. Your tutor will allow you know your score because I took some notes over here. Okay?
Okay.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
You, goodbye.